It's Operation Babble with Myke Shrews. It's pop culture, music, movies, TV too. It's time to explore life. It's Operation Babble time.
Go force yourself. That was mean. That was mean. I'm sorry. That was topical. I don't want to talk about it. It makes me sad.
Go force yourself.
Yeah.
How's that topical? I don't get that one.
You don't know?
I haven't paid attention to any fucking. Is it a Star Wars thing? I haven't paid attention to none of that shit lately.
Yeah, no. It's pseudo political. Okay. Okay. So, Mark Hamill, aka Luke Skywalker,
AKA the Joker,
the best Joker,
AKA cock knocker.
Yes. Don't mess with the Jedi Master, son. Okay, so this is just Twitter outrage, so I'd like to not be on it too long.
Okay.
Because by now most people probably already know the story.
Twitter hours, just so everyone knows too. John follows Twitter a lot fucking more than I do.
Now, yeah, I put the app back on my phone pretty much because I redid the gaming channel.
Yeah.
The Bald Man Bad channel that I got. So I figured that's a good place to
promote the videos and shit.
Yeah, upload the videos and just fucking pander like a bitch and like a big sellout. And but of course, you can't help yourself. Once you get into the app, it's like fucking Facebook, dude. Your life is so much better when you get away from the apps. It's like it's totally like falling off the wagon.
Yeah.
And so of course, like I follow a bunch of people, blah blah blah. Well, everybody knows Mark Hamill is pretty out there about his politics. Like he doesn't really care about like sharing his opinion and stuff. And he's pretty left, I would assume, or at least what people would categorize as left.
Right.
So obviously he hates Donald Trump. Like that's his thing.
I think most of the Hollywood-esque, yeah, they either they do hate him or they give off the persona of it just so they don't lose fandom.
Well, it's like, I mean, dude, they call it the liberal arts for a reason.
Yeah.
So so the whole thing is that Ivanka Trump and her husband tweeted a photo of them like all dressed up. I guess they were gonna probably go to like some gala event or whatever.
Okay.
Do as they do, and then their kids. If I remember what the picture looked like, there was like a kid building like a Lego set, like a Star Wars Lego set, and another kid in like the new Stormtrooper costumes, not the OT, but the new stuff. I don't know why that's relevant, but I figured I'd just bring it up. And they hashtagged, the force is strong with our family or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So Mark Hamill then retweeted that and said, I think you misspelled fraud, and then put hashtag go force yourself.
Okay.
So let's be clear right off the bat, because this is getting really ridiculous. This is just proving how like extreme everyone is these days and how dialed to 11 everyone is.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it comes to politics, it's absolutely absurd. Only the sane people seem to be like not talking. So obviously you see that, you just go, it's obviously Ivanka and the husband tweeted out the picture, did whatever. And Mark Hamill obviously hates Donald Trump. Given all of that context, this was him because it was like a little bit Star Wars related, because she used the force is strong with us. What he did was extremely tacky and distasteful. That was really bad. Like, I get it. You don't like her dad. Why are you doing this? So obviously most people would just go, that's just in really poor taste. Mm-hmm. Why do that? But now a lot of people, even people who obviously support Mark Hamill and probably a lot of his viewpoints, they're pretty much going, I can't believe he went and attacked a kid on Twitter because he was wearing Star Wars stuff. I'm like, wow, really? That's what we took from that?
Well,
come on, dude.
Are they his fans that are saying that about him?
Yo, it's like everybody. I mean, granted, there are people now obviously coming out and going like, "Come on, man! Like, what are you doing?" You know, there's never a true 100%, but like people who really support him and have these huge YouTube channels and a big voice, you know, are putting out all these fucking headlines and making videos going, "Mark Hamill attacks fucking child on Twitter for liking star," and I'm like, wow,
right,
way to reach for your fucking views, you freaking loser. Like, I get it, regardless of whether or not it's politics or anything. You do not support what he did. That is shitty. Like, why do that? And then especially to do something like to make such a distasteful pun with something beloved, like go force yourself. It's like, you know, the implications, and it's bad.
Right.
And the kids being in the photo, just perception-wise, just makes it look really fucking horrible. Yeah. Like, it's just in bad taste.
I see I see the picture now and the post because he doesn't pull his shit down even when people give him stuff.
Well, why would you? I mean, you did it. Own up to it. Like, you know.
Yeah. And if you did, you just make it worse, you know, when you pull it and then people are like, I screenshot that anyway.
Exactly.
It's all over TMZ. Fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. Why bother?
Yeah. Oh wait, I don't want to tweet my reply. What is this? How the fuck do you see these comments?
You're fucking adorable.
There we go. All right.
It's like doing a tutorial for my grandpa.
Turn to the dark side. Well, that's just false. I'd say the side with Nazi support are the dark side. Oh, wait. Whoa. Okay, so they're all mixed
see,
now.
I'm telling you, dude, it just dives into insanity like immediately. Because I remember I was literally on my phone. Yep, see, I could already see you reacting. It's fucking hysterical because
someone posted, he was like, Obama had kids in cages too. What does that have to do with anything in this post?
It's insane.
God damn.
Dude, people are nuts, dude. I'm telling you. It's like, I know it. Mark Hamill just doesn't like Donald Trump, and he probably doesn't like Ivanka being in the house and shit like that. So I get it. This was like his opportunity to like do something. It's just tacky, but like people are spinning it so weird.
It's Trump's daughter and then her husband.
I hope.
I guess.
I hope.
Well, I didn't know if it was. Dude,
yeah,
I do not
I don't
follow
know.
the Trumps.
Same.
It could be his son and his wife.
Same.
I don't
care.
know any of that shit. It says, I count 1 stormtrooper and 2 garbage monsters. Wow. Like, really though? I mean,
look, and
people
see,
attack for
but
crazy
see,
things.
like I said, I just don't want to get into it because people are nuts. My whole deal is I want to go just completely based on what he did. You know what he did? He was just being an asshole.
Right. He was just being a troll, basically, online.
Yeah.
Just to fuck with them, and it kind of is kind of like a fucked up thing. Like, yeah, the kid is the one dressed in the Star Wars. It's not like the parents were. So, it's
but
like,
everybody forgets that she put the hashtag "the Force is strong with our family."
Right.
It's like, yeah, and so that's his moment to go, no, fuck that. Like, I don't want that associated with Donald Trump.
I mean, her dad is in the White House, so the Force must be strong with their family.
Shit, yeah. Don't forget the Emperor rose to power too.
Here's that one that you were saying. It said attacking young Star Wars fans is a dick move.
Yeah, it's just,
and then someone commented something that means absolutely nothing. It's like, but separating kids from their parents indefinitely is okay.
It's insane. It's insane.
What? Why does that have to do with this?
It's all insane.
This is why I don't do Twitter, dude.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And I've learned to like pull myself back. I go, because literally all I said was, if you guys think he's literally attacking the child for this, you're insane. Like, this is just take it for what it is. It was distasteful. It was a bad move. And publicity wise, I mean, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. It's just, you can't, regardless of whether or not you're a fan of Mark Hamill, you cannot in full conscience think that was a good move.
Can I say something though too? Like, the kid's dressed as a stormtrooper. The stormtroopers in the movies work for like the First Order or all those.
What are you doing?
Other things.
You're reading way
So
too
it's
deep into
kinda
this,
like,
dude.
Why even say shit? Yeah.
That's why I'm
Yeah.
saying just it was a bad move.
He
shouldn't
just
have done
shouldn't have
it.
said anything.
He
Just
just
because
shouldn't have
it's
done it.
Star Wars related doesn't mean you have to say shit. You don't see fucking
Exactly.
Harrison Ford out there saying shit all the time, or even when Carrie was around.
Yep.
You know, she didn't go about.
Well, don't say that because she was
did
very
a lot,
outspoken.
too.
But what I would say is people need to just calm the hell down.
Yeah.
They need, or if you're going to be like enraged and feel the need to comment on it, please be a normal person and realize what the actual context was. Don't make this into like, I mean, people are getting to a point where it's like he might as well have went and slapped the kid in the face. Like, Jesus. Like, yeah, because like the little kid in the stormtrooper outfit was the one on the phone going, look, I can't wait for Mark Hamill to be like, cool costume, kid. I don't know. I want to get off it because it's dumb.
I'm just like scrolling through these comments and like
see the absurdity.
Wow.
I'm telling you, dude. But see, the thing is everybody will immediately go, "Oh, you support him?" Like, no. And I also don't support, and I don't support either side. Everybody's insane right now. Like, everybody's just nuts.
This dude's like, you should go force yourself, dude. So happy Disney turned Luke into a pussy.
Yeah, right. It's brutal. It's so brutal, and it's just like. And it was pretty much like, I would say like within like hours of him doing it, it was so fast. People fucking dogpile real hard. And I'm not kidding, man. People were making YouTube videos about it. And
the sad thing is like a lot of these people that are commenting on here are probably people that didn't follow him in the first place. Mm-hmm. Like,
or probably don't even know anything about Star Wars or anything.
Or necessarily even like care for his views, so maybe that's why they do follow him, just to do this shit in the comments.
Well, the whole point is that
again, he should not have. He just should have left it be.
You know what it is. It's just he's an idol icon guy who fucked up, and when they fuck up like that, the person on the opposite side can use that as an example of going, see, they're all crazy, and you don't want to generalize like that. It's just terrible because
I'm going to read one more, and then we'll move
last
away.
one, and we're done.
Last one. Because this one I'm confused about.
Okay.
It says, so Luke Skywalker's picking on kids now, ? Liberals have truly destroyed Star Wars and everything it stood for. Sure. Wasn't a liberal the one who created Star Wars in the first place? I don't know if he is or not. But it was created in a liberal industry. So saying that they destroyed it. I mean,
people just use those words too much.
They don't understand.
Those words don't mean anything anymore because everybody just uses them all the time. Liberal, there are extreme everythings, dude. Like, I'm liberal, probably. People would probably categorize me as a left or whatever. I take every single situation on context. Yeah. If I don't have context, I can't make an opinion. And if I think I can,
that and my opinions will change randomly too.
Exactly.
On those topics.
I mean, think
Either
about it.
Either that, I'll just fuck with you and be both sides.
Oh God. See, the only reason why I don't do shit like that, because then it's hard when people go back and ask me something. They have all these examples of me playing both sides, and they're like, "Okay, well, where'd your integrity go? I don't know what side you're on." And it's like, if I have to explain myself, then I'm already starting on like a cracked foundation, and that's just not a good thing.
If I'm arguing any of that shit online, just know that I'm just doing it to fuck with you.
But then what happens when you aren't doing it to fuck with me? Then
I'm not going to talk about that stuff online if I'm not fucking with somebody.
But how would you know that?
Because I'm literally saying it right now. Literally.
Yeah, because everybody on the internet who reads your comments listens to your podcast.
I
just
don't really
it out
care.
There. Just throwing it out.
You know what?
There.
Go force yourself.
Damn it!
In other news, since we are on like a also, guys, welcome back to Operation Babble.
Did you miss us?
In other news, since we're talking about a kind of Disney-esque thing, I guess, because liberal and Star Wars, maybe? I don't know.
Sure, why not? Let's lump them all in.
Yeah, we will. I mean, why not?
What do we got?
So the Spider-Man deal went through, and their Spider-Man is going to show up in the MCU with
I believe they said for at least 2 more movies.
He's getting a third movie, and then he's getting another one, which would probably be like an Avengers-esque probably movie or something. Or maybe like the multiverse of madness, maybe?
My money would be on they're probably going to do something with Captain Marvel to try and humanize her a little bit and make her... Yeah. If they can't have Spidey for the rest of the run, I think Captain Marvel's the one they're trying to put all their chips in on.
Right. We'll see.
Which is sad because that won't work. And also, I'd like to say I called that. I knew he'd be back. Come on, man. You think Disney was going to let that shit go when they left that God fucking Christ. The cliffhanger in the last movie? Right. That was just not going to happen.
And it would be very hard for Sony to come from that because they weren't allowed to mention anything from the MCU then in their own solo movie.
Well, and not only that, I mean, it's like, then what do? It's like you use Tom Holland and you can't use his storyline, so you recast again? Nobody would want that.
He's supposedly signed on with Sony for like 4 or 5 more films, though.
But then I'm saying, but you bring him on, it's like, now you can at least conclude his story in the MCU and work off another storyline or something.
I'm kind of, and this is where it's going to get weird, dude. I was kind of pissed off. Like... I was, it was a sucky thing that they pulled him out of the MCU when they did. I was like, okay, whatever. But we both even said we're just gonna wait and see. We're not really gonna talk about it because we didn't really fucking want to like get ahead of ourselves. And then like 2 days later, oh hey,
yep.
What? It's been like a month later, I think now, or 2 months. Something like that. Yeah. And you notice they announce it right before the DVD release too. So, conspiracy hats on, yes.
Oh, there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's just
But my thing was like, if this wasn't just a publicity thing, which I'm starting to think more and more it is.
Oh, I don't think it was a publicity stunt because I think Sony legitimately wanted that money.
Yeah,
it was a money thing, dude. It was 100% a money thing. Like that deal was fucked. When the movie's making that much
billions.
Money,
but see, the only reason that Spider-Man movie made over $1 billion was because of the Endgame follow-up.
So you're saying that though?
There's no way to know for sure.
No, we will on the next one. Because I would argue Black Panther and Captain Marvel came out at a perfect time. You had speaking of, I watched Civil War again. We'll get into that. But you had Black Panther coming off of Civil War.
Yeah.
So you wanted to see where they were going to go with that, and they were going to introduce him in before, Infinity War and all that. And then you also had Captain Marvel in between Infinity War and Endgame. So of course those movies were going to do pretty well. And then, you throw your little political agenda stuff on there, and that's going to sell some tickets as well. Regardless of whether or not anybody believes that happened, don't worry, people went to those movies for that reason. Right. So either way, that is a boost in sales, regardless of whether or not you like it. Good marketing.
Did they both break a bill?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Dude, fucking Black Panther had like 100% on it before it even came out.
100% on what?
Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, let's not. No, shut the fuck up with that.
I know. Well, I don't believe them. They gave it to Knives Out too. There's no way Rian Johnson made 100% fucking critically.
Yeah, but that was only with like 20 people or 10 people or some shit.
Still, could you really think you could go anywhere, have 20 people in the room, and they all legitimately believe the same thing? Me and Hannah can't even fall together on the same thing, and we actually like the same shit.
Yeah, Black Panther broke a bill, almost $1.5 billion. As of May 22nd, 2018. And then Captain Marvel, I know, broke a bill just because of stuff.
Which I still can't.
It wasn't even that great of a movie for it to be that. No. But it's a bill 1.12 bill.
But I mean, But I mean, being in between Infinity War and Endgame, it's like the completionists needed to see it. You know what I mean?
I mean, and then you have the people like us, where we see every Marvel movie in theaters.
I didn't.
No, not me. Like me and me.
Oh,
and
okay.
Nick.
I was like,
yeah, no, not you.
No, Black Panther burned me so hard that I fuck Captain Marvel. I was pretty much starting to jump off the train by then.
Thor Ragnarok was a better film than Captain Marvel.
I'd agree
and
with
that didn't even break a bill.
No. But to be fair, I mean, Thor 2 was so bad. I didn't see people really giving a shit about the third one unless word of mouth was really good. Right.
Infinity War broke too, Bill.
And deservedly so.
And what was Endgame? Endgame was...
I think... I'd probably say the next Marvel movie, and for sure the next Spider-Man movie's numbers will really tell where the MCU is at.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure Endgame was really kind of the pinnacle for most people. And then, Far From Home was just kind of like the victory lap kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
because it was actually the last movie to close up that phase.
Yeah.
Which I get annoyed that they do the Avengers movie and then there's one right after it to close up the phase. I'm like, no, just end it on the Avengers movie.
That's the marketing
fucking
ploy, man.
retards.
That's how it works. But to be fair, I mean, you could have probably walked away from Endgame and been fine. You didn't really need Far From Home.
Right. And then especially if Spider-Man wasn't coming back, it would have been a good idea.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see. Because my favorite part was everybody crying about, oh no, now we're not gonna get a Spider-Verse live action movie. I'm like, bro, you weren't getting that. Calm the fuck down.
That's what people were whining about. They thought that what Sony was gonna do right away.
I couldn't tell you how many of those fan edit posters with Maguire, Garfield, and him on it. It was insane. I was like, solid pipe dream, bro. And don't get me wrong, I'd have fucking loved to have seen that. One, Tobey Maguire ain't coming back for that shit. And Andrew Garfield might, but I guarantee you he
wants to get his
expensive.
third movie in.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But for me, my whole thing was just, when they said it, okay, and then it dragged on for a bit that there was no MCU Spider-Man anymore. And it dragged on for a bit, and I kind of got used to the idea. I was like, I kind of wanted to see what Sony could have done with Tom Holland's Spider-Man without...
Easy, go watch Venom.
Without all the other bullshit.
Yeah, good luck with that. Dude, I seriously, I don't get it. I really don't get it. And I'm sorry.
I heard
Oh, no. I got to go off on this. I'm sorry. Because that really set me up, because ever since, it's been this fucking flood, dude, of people going back to the Sam Raimi movies and talking about them.
Yeah.
How they're these fucking huge masterpieces. Now, don't get triggered. I'm going somewhere.
Dun, dun.
Internet. The Sam Raimi movies are really good. I like them. The third one had potential. You could tell there was a lot of production fuckery going on behind the scenes. That's why that one fell apart. But there was a good movie in there somewhere. But 2 is considered one of the peaks of superhero movies.
Yeah.
Even like X-Men 2 and Spider-Man 2 are considered probably the 2 that got comic books fucking going and considered to be legitimate movies or a genre or whatever. The first one was not fucking as well received as people remember it. It really wasn't. I think people forget because a lot of comic book people fucking bitch and moan about Tom Holland not being comic book accurate. I was like, you weren't jumping out at the fact that Tobey Maguire had organic webs and he had nothing to do with him being you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was a lot, and there was some weird tismy shit going on in it. A lot of the casting was kind of weird at the time. People didn't really like what's her face as Mary Jane that much.
Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah. There was there's always fucking people bitching on each side.
Honestly,
but now,
the only thing cast wise that was like a perfect fit from those was J.K. Simmons.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
That was like
Fuck
the
yeah, dude.
perfect one.
Oh,
which is
well, I don't know.
why.
Willem Dafoe and their villains were solid. I thought Willem Dafoe.
Yeah,
as the
Willem
Green
Dafoe
Goblin
as the
fucking
Norman
awesome.
was great.
And then I can't remember the guy's name, but whoever played Doc Ock, he's fun. And Aunt May was pretty solid. Her and Uncle Ben, dude. Like, I'm sorry, in the movies when you see Uncle Ben die, you're like, yeah, it was that guy. Like, I don't even know that actor's name from the first Spider-Man movie, but like, he's the face I see whenever Uncle Ben dies now.
Yeah, because in the Amazing Spider-Man, wasn't it Emilio Estevez's
it was like Martin
dad?
Sheen?
Martin Sheen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the problem is that everybody like loves those movies now because you got a slew of shitty ones. You know what I mean? Spider-Man 3 was a huge disappointment for a lot of people. Amazing Spider-Man
That was mostly
1,
due to the studio as well.
yeah. But then you have Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. It's like Spider-Man 2 damn near just was like one of the worst films you'd seen ever. Like, it's so bad. And I go, you do know that Sony made those as well. And then Venom came out, and it was just like, you see what they're doing with it, and they just can't handle it. Like, they can't help themselves. They're like DC. They want to get to the finish line so fucking fast that they'd rather just pull a hamstring and crawl across the finish line than actually put the work in.
I'm really curious, like, I'm going to get to my point on, like, my feelings on the thing, but I was really curious, too, of, like, what their deal with Marvel is like we know Peter Parker Spider-Man is in the MCU. That was their deal. That was the character they could use, and then like random villains that they've decided on. Now, does that mean that Sony couldn't have done their own Peter Parker or their own like Miles Morales? Well, like of course they did the cartoon one, the animation, but could they have, in theory, done another Peter Parker movie to lead into their Venom and all that other shit?
They can't do live action.
They can't.
That's the rights they don't have. I don't know what the new contracts are. I didn't really look into them. It just seemed like they did pretty much the exact same thing, except Sony's just getting.
There
more
were
money.
rumors that Holland's Spider-Man's going to be in the next Venom, which will lead Venom into the MCU.
Which is strange because
weird.
Venom didn't do very well, so I don't know why you would put your chips in that basket. I really don't know why.
Maybe they'll see like Spider-Man on a TV. See, this is what I thought was going to happen in Venom. Was he was going to fucking at least see Spider-Man on a TV screen and be like, "Oh, I like that," and then like design the spider on his fucking chest.
Dude, that could have been
stuff.
kind of cool. Or even just like walk by like a Halloween costume and have like merch
Right?
or something in it. It could have been so easy.
It was super easy to do. I was just like, they could have taken like a clip from fucking any of the stuff. Like, oh, he showed up at the airport. Hey, that guy's kind of cool. There's a spider on my chest now.
Or even like just here's the rights you could get Jonah Jameson to do that, yelling about Spider-Man, and then bam, there you go, done.
Right.
You would have had it. It could have been a little thing. Somebody did bring up a joke though. The new thing that MCU should do for cutaway scenes or whatever for their end credits, fucking just have J. Jonah Jameson pop up at the end and pretty much just recontextualize the entire film. Like essentially he just does like a quick breakdown of all the stuff you just saw happen, like as if he was presenting it in the news. And then somehow, no matter what it is, blame it on Spider-Man. I was like, that is fucking brilliant. That would be so fucking funny. I was like, that would be like the extras that you can put on YouTube to promote your movies and to put on the discs.
Yeah, kind of like a Deadpool type promotion, like they did with that shit.
Exactly. I think that
because it would be
fucking
like a
brilliant.
day in the fucking studio for Simmons, and then
exactly
bam, right there.
It'd be great.
Not even the whole day. It's like
brilliant.
a 6-hour segment, maybe. Change your outfit every so often.
Yeah.
Or
and the
just
way the
different
fucking
sport
Marvel
jacket.
And the way that Marvel's pumping out the movies, dude, like he'd only have to do like 6 of them a year.
Yeah.
Be easy. It'd be fucking. I would be great. It would be awesome.
Or to see him like just show up on a TV screen in the middle of one of the movies or something,
Mm-hmm.
Since they have him led into the MCU now, anyways, you might as well use him. Utilize that shit.
I don't know. I like what Marvel's doing with Spidey. My biggest issue is like the comic book fans are like their biggest issue is he's just Iron Man Jr. or whatever and blah blah blah.
Right,
in the
because
comics,
the way that they were doing it was they were trying to set him up to be like the next, not Iron Man, but like the face for that for the MCU. I feel.
And also like even on more like a superficial route, like they didn't like the fact that like they had Tony as like this safety net for him, not only monetarily but like they gave him the suits and did this and did that, and they didn't like that because Peter's this downtrodden guy who wants to do everything himself or whatever.
Well, at least they didn't take away like his webbing and stuff. Like he designed that shit himself still, even in the MCU version.
So my biggest argument would be is like you're mad about a certain, and for me, I think it's superficial. Everybody's like, oh no, because of the way like his money struggles and the way he wants to have his double life, like it's part of his character. I'm like,
right.
Well, I would argue that back and forth of do I want to be Spider-Man, do I not want to be Spider-Man is there.
It's just
like,
not as like right in your face.
Yeah, the whole thing's not fucking doom and gloom. Like he has those issues like I want to go to the dance, but he can't, and then he finds out like his world gets mixed together because the girl he covets is the villain's daughter, like, and he doesn't know that, and his worlds collide without him knowing, and now he's got, what do I do with him? Do I put him in jail? Do I let him live because he knows my identity? Like, all those real struggles. It's the monetary thing that people get all pissy about. I'm like, he's in fucking high school.
Yeah.
Like, they set him up so quick that you like him. He's really likable, the actor and everything. We can get there. Like, we have the opportunity to get there. When he goes to college, then he can have his money struggles. Like, he has to have a job and pay for his shit because Aunt May can't do both.
And I would say, too, though, like, you needed that like, the help, with the Iron Spider suit and shit like that, because that came into play in the Infinity War and Endgame. You needed that right there. Granted, yes, it was like a really fast jump to getting to it, but you needed it.
And my other thing is just you also have to understand where he came from. Like, he was introduced in Civil War. They didn't even know if they were going to get him before that. So
they were literally shooting that movie and then went and did reshoots for it.
Exactly, because they had a backup plan. I don't remember. I would like to read up on it because I want to remember who they were going to pick. But it was so well done, though. Like, I don't care what anybody says. You got to go back and watch that movie. They knock out his introduction in 2 seconds. He comes in, and he's the most Spider-Man-like ever when he's actually fighting.
Yeah.
They literally have a guy fighting him going, you do realize in a fight, there's usually not this much talking. And he's throwing jokes and stuff. Like, I don't care what anybody says. He's the best Spider-Man put to screen. Peter Parker, you can argue, because Tobey Maguire really does do the
geeky,
really milquetoast, boring kind of nerdy guy. He does that really, really well.
Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker was kind of like, really, you're not different when you put the suit on, dude. You're the same fucking thing.
You're the same, dude. He was just
you're still a cocky asshole.
Exactly. It was just like he was a good Spidey, but he was a terrible Peter Parker. So I don't know. It just seems weird.
I think a lot of the things too is a lot of people, they're complaining about, oh well, the troubles and the money and this and that, and they're looking at like how Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man was he was in college or out of he was out of fucking high school by the second movie.
Second movie.
Yeah.
He was in high school.
He was in high school in the first one, but by the second one, when he was really going through a lot of those struggles and shit like that, he was, living on his own. He didn't have anyone extra to help him out or anything like that. So it's like, yeah, of course that one's going to be different. He's still living with Aunt May.
Yeah.
Did you see that Aunt May? I would still be living with her too.
Yeah. No, it's just it's comic book snobbery. That's all it is. That's all it is. Nobody wants to deal with it.
I mean, I get it, but I also like I love the comics, but I always look at the movies as its own version of the fucking comic. Yeah. It's the New 52 kind of thing. It's like its own new line.
It's just another iteration.
Yeah.
It's another run. And my biggest thing with his struggles and stuff, I just go, we just haven't gotten there yet. Give it another movie. Because
dude, he wants to keep doing this. Holland said he'd be willing to do this like continuously.
Exactly. So it's
because
just like,
he's so young, you could literally keep doing a Spider-Man movie every like couple years with him, showing him aging.
But then, okay, so here we go. Here comes the fan. Here comes the fan part for me. Imagine if people could just have some fucking patience and treated Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame, all this stuff as his fucking origin story.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine his like 2 solo films and all his little cameos were just his origin. And now here we go. Like, this is going to get him into the duality of Spider-Man, Peter Parker stuff a lot stronger. He's going to eventually have to move out and get a job and deal with all the money problems. We get there.
What if Ned dies and that shows some more, I mean,
there you go.
They might not even do that, but I'm just saying
but
that would give
that
some more heartache. Oh, and then he'd be like, okay, I got to be careful who fucking knows. Of course, now the whole world knows.
Or Zendaya dies.
Yeah.
And then a new MJ
what
comes
is her
in.
name? Like, it's not MJ. It's like
Michelle Jones.
Okay. Yeah.
And and then he has to deal with this weird thing. Like, they want to, like, the new redhead shows up, Mary Jane, and they want to call her MJ, and he's like, ooh, that feels weird, and he doesn't like it. You could really write this stuff in, and then imagine like 10, 15 years down the road now, Holland actually looks his age rather than like 6 years younger than what he actually is. And he starts training a protege named Miles.
Right, which they've already introduced to the Prowler in the first
exactly,
Spider-Man movie.
Dude. If people just have no patience, that's all it is. They want exactly what they want. They already want the guy already established and taken care of by the time he comes in. It's insane.
They want
insane.
They want what DC was trying to do by rushing stuff.
Exactly.
But then they'll complain about the DC shit.
Oh, I don't know, man. There are some DC fanboys out there so strong still thinking Batman v Superman's a good movie.
Fuck you.
I always tell people the only reason why I know Batman v Superman sucks is because Civil War is legitimately the exact same film. Damn near shot for shot. The only difference is that you cared about all the characters and everything made sense. That's all. Batman v Superman could have been fine if they'd have put the work in. That's all. But speaking of DC.
Wait. Let's finish up the Spider-Man bullshit. Because I don't want to talk about the deal anymore.
We got more Spidey talk? Ugh.
I just don't want to talk about it anymore after this cast, really. Because there's not really any reason.
Why?
Now.
There's no point.
But no, like, I had posted in our Operation Babble group about the thing. I was like, just like, ugh.
And I made fun of you. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody does, because everybody wants what they want. And, like, yeah, I understand people that you want to see the story come to a complete close, not left on a fucking cliffhanger.
You mean in the middle of a cinematic universe? Yes, we would very much like that, Michael, yes.
But I just feel, and this is just me, because I loathe
You weren't getting a Spider-Verse movie, first of all. That wasn't gonna happen.
I know that. But you never know how they end this. And maybe that will send them into a Spider-Verse, and then Sony can do whatever the fuck they want.
I hope they don't, because they'll do a terrible job.
No, I just I feel like, Disney just waved their big pocketbook dick around, and it was like, here, we're the cute, sexy jock kids in school with all the money. So
it's the one time I'm okay with it. It was the one time I was okay with it. I was like, because any other time they're just buying it up to see what they could potentially do with it. This was literally like, we're in the middle of something. We need to finish it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was a big difference. It's not like them buying fucking Hulu and then canceling goddamn Ghost Rider that I actually wanted.
Did they cancel Ghost Rider?
Yeah,
they didn't buy Hulu, dude. They just got the controlling.
Well, you know what I mean. They got a stake in it.
They were already like almost the controlling stake, but once they bought Fox, they got the full stake.
But Hulu was gonna run that storyline for Ghost Rider, which was part of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, so it was gonna be a continuation.
It was gonna be Robbie Reyes again.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that actor's the dude who's playing the fucking the the Apple employee looking Terminator in the new Terminator movie. Isn't that him? Or am I crazy?
I don't know, because his face looks really CG, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah, right? Fucking Christ. Oh, God. Yeah, I should have probably looked that up. Because I really liked that Ghost Rider in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I liked him a lot. I thought he was really cool.
Yeah.
And it was kind of neat because everybody's like, oh, I want the motorcycle and stuff. I'm like, I saw 2 shitty movies with Nick Cage in it with the motorcycle. I'm cool with the car. The car was neato. I like Fast and the Furious. There's a scene where Ghost Rider like fucks up a bunch of people in a prison in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I really like that scene. It was him? Okay, yeah. I thought so.
He doesn't have a name in the Terminator Dark Fate. He's just called Terminator.
Cool.
Of course, there's like 500 of them. What the hell?
Who cares? Nobody's gonna watch. Well, people will watch that movie. It's not gonna be good.
I'm gonna watch it.
It's gonna be fun.
Just to see. I mean, I've seen every other fucking one, so I might as well watch this one.
I still got $50. Says John Connor dies in like the first like 10 minutes of the film.
Eddie Furlong.
Yeah.
He's gonna have an OD.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, I found out the news about Hulu deciding not to move forward with that. That kind of, I got a little butthurt about that. I was like, at least give me like a season.
Maybe it's because they're gonna put it on Disney Plus.
I doubt it. That just feels like something like a big like who cares? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will finish out their run and then just be done with it. I'm imagining
either that or they're planning on doing like, you know, Blade, Ghost Rider, you know, doing the team up type thing, so they don't want a Ghost Rider TV show.
But if they're gonna do that, I mean, why not just get do a new iteration and bring back the motorcycle, the one that everybody's like familiar with? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think the Ghost Rider thing's a big missed opportunity, especially because that actor's gonna fucking not get work after Terminator. So
you had there were multiple comics where like those guys, it was like the dark, basically the Dark Avengers, not even, but that's not like, what they called them.
But yeah, it was like because they would run around with like fucking
it was like
Doctor
Blade, Punisher, Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider, and like a couple other people. Swamp Thing is DC.
And John Constantine.
That's DC.
Oh yeah, fuck. Sorry. I don't know why I did that. Because I just watched the animated one of them.
That was like, fun. Yeah.
It was like Batman, Constantine. Who's their mystical dude?
Constantine.
Yeah, it was Constantine. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking magic. I was like, oh yeah, Zatanna.
But they're gonna be bringing but they're gonna bring in Moon Knight. So I mean, you get Moon Knight, Blade, and Ghost Rider together in a fucking movie.
I don't know a ton about Moon Knight. Was what is it? Egyptian magic?
Yeah, he's kind of like I don't want to say multiple personality, but like, you know,
schizophrenic?
Yeah.
That could be cool.
It's like a guy goes in there kind of like yeah, it's I don't know too much about him. I've read a few of his things, but not like an origin thing or anything like that. So it was, yeah. I'm really interested to see who they cast for it, though.
I will say that only works if this Doctor Strange, quote unquote, horror kind of aspect works with his film.
I wonder if they're gonna have it because it's gonna be a horror. That's what they're literally calling it.
Yeah.
Is it going to be rated R?
No way, absolutely no way. You think they're gonna ever put an R rating on an MCU film? You're insane.
We'll see.
I mean, like
we'll see. We'll wait and see.
I will be pleasantly surprised if that happens because I will make the argument, especially if Wanda's going to be running around with him. Go back and watch Age of Ultron and how they made her so fucking creepy right off the bat when they introduced her.
Well, that was all freaking
Joss Whedon.
Joss Whedon. Well, I'm telling you, Wes Craven for some reason.
That aesthetic that they gave her with her powers and like the way she was running, I'm so butthurt that they changed all of that. I was so about it when I first saw it. I was like, ooh, some creepy shit. I was all about it.
They had to. They couldn't let you think that Wanda was a really strong, powerful woman. They needed to do their own strong, powerful woman with Captain Marvel.
Fucking don't bring her up. Don't invoke her name.
Which I just fucking blew some dude's mind the other day. Don't take it as a soundbite and say I blew some dude.
No, I'll take that one.
But
I'll take that soundbite and use that one.
I saw some guy posted something about
the guy you blew. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy I blew. Oh shit.
You can do it.
God. Hold on.
Okay.
I got it.
Well, then for everyone, since you brought up Moon Knight and you were wondering about who they would be casting, it's actually really funny. I'm really sad that the world caught up too fast thanks to fucking John Wick. God damn it. They brought him back and they kind of turned him into a meme now about like they want him to do everything. Keanu Reeves was 100% like one of the first ones in my brain about Moon Knight. I thought that would have been really cool.
They want him to play every fucking character in the MCU.
But that's what I'm saying now. It's like now it's a meme. Moon Knight seemed like a good call.
Yeah.
But
forget what I was gonna say because it's not relevant anymore.
Okay.
All right. So you said something. You had some shit about DC, dude. What's up?
Did I?
Yeah, you were trying to segue from Spidey to DC.
Oh, I lost my Sagoo.
Fuck.
I blame you.
All right. Well, then, and speaking of DC.
Okay, cast over. We're both going home. Everybody have a good day.
Speaking of DC, the Birds of Prey trailer finally dropped.
That's exactly what I was going to talk about. Nicely done. Fuck. Yeah. Yep, you were right. Oh, shit.
I was like, there's only a few DC news things, so.
Oh, is there? I think you, sir, are off base. I'm wearing my fucking Arrow hoodie right now.
Just
Forget
go
you.
on the Birds of Prey.
Okay,
I
Birds
set
of Prey.
you up,
Sorry.
fucknut.
Sorry. I saw the trailer. I just saw the trailer yesterday.
I just watched it this morning.
No, well, did you now? Well, how about you talk about it first, since it's probably in your brain a lot more.
I don't have much to say. I mean, I love the campiness, of it that's gonna have. I hope they don't bring. I mean, I don't see them bringing the Joker into it, because she introduces the thing as like I just broke up with the Joker or some shit.
Oh, well, I'd imagine if he shows up, it's gonna be like a cameo-esque thing or like a flashback-y thing. Or...
Maybe they'll
like
use
right
some
at
of
the
that.
End.
Maybe they'll use some of the fucking footage they shot for Suicide Squad and never showed us.
Mm-hmm.
That would be how you do it. Yeah, but I liked it. I'm kind of excited for it. I am a Charlie's Angels fan, so seeing a dark version of Charlie's Angels, or a rated R version, I should say, of Charlie's Angels,
which is essentially
I'm all about it. Yeah. Do you have anything to say on the trailer? I really am looking forward to it. I'll probably see it in theater.
I don't want to speculate too much on the the actual like storyline and stuff because one, it's DC.
Right.
So I don't have high hopes.
It's pure campiness, bro. That's all it's supposed to be.
Well, let me finish it because there's unlike a lot of people who don't believe it works, I'm actually very good at splitting the technical with the dangly keys portion of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Again, so story-wise, I don't imagine it's going to be very good because I think this is intending to be a direct sequel to Suicide Squad, which is going to make it all more confusing when James Gunn redoes a Suicide Squad or whatever.
I think
I'm like 90% sure it is. It has to do with the Joker. They're going to bring up elements from what she was doing earlier and all that stuff.
Unless they're just doing Elseworlds type bullshit and this has nothing to do with anything.
They're so not doing that. They trust me, if they had, they would have started that shit with Shazam. Like that.
Which they still could have, technically.
They're trying to keep this DCEU afloat, and this shit is dead. They need to stop. Because this movie, hopefully, I think is going to try and play like they're going to keep elements from Suicide Squad, but hopefully it's not like a legit sequel, if that makes sense.
Right.
Because I have to say, looking at it, looks fucking awesome. Like, It looks like a movie. Like like the lighting's awesome. The costume, like some of the costumes are kind of bleh. Like especially with Harley's shit, they're kind of like trying a little too hard.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. But I like it. The aesthetic stuff is cool. They allude to like the canary cry with what's her face singing. Fuck everybody. I don't care about race changing and swapping. I don't care anymore at this point. I've given up.
They got the Huntress in there.
Huntress looks pretty dope.
And the
she's
girl
running
is
the crossbow, which is
the
cool.
one chick is supposed to be Black Canary.
And there's all these there's all these
Harley,
it's just cool
Huntress,
imagery,
and Black
dude.
Canary.
Colors look awesome. Music was kind of bleh.
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor is gonna fucking be great as a villain. Like,
As Black
I don't
Mask.
know. I don't know much about Black Mask or whatever. I just know he's kind of just like a goofy looking mob guy or whatever.
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor's cool. He can play Unhinged really well. If you don't believe me, go see what's it? What was he in?
Trainspotting?
Was that it?
Yeah.
He plays Unhinged pretty good. So he'll deliver. Margot Robbie is great as Harley, so that'll be fine. We'll see how the other people go, but they definitely are leaning into the absurd and like the colorful, crazy costumes, insanity. So hopefully they don't go too woke. You know what I mean? Like that whole like throwing agenda shit at me and stuff.
It'll be fun to see Ewan McGregor play like the flamboyant, like crazy gay, rather than like in what was that one with Jim Carrey? I Love You, Philip Morris. He played like it was based on a true story where him and Jim Carrey were two gay lovers
in the prison.
In the prison and shit, yeah.
Yeah.
And like he played more of like a somber type gay. And this one he's playing like super like, fuck you, I'm crazy gay. I would love it.
Like Jack from Will and Grace. I don't know. It's Ewan McGregor, dude. He'll be fine.
Anything
again,
he's in, I love. So.
I think a lot of this casting is solid. Again, I just watched the trailer without the sound on.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of like the sound bites and shit are all really cliche and it's kind of lame. It really tells that I think the writing's going to be really bad.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's DC, so I mean, bar's pretty low. I'm cautiously optimistic for this one. I think it's definitely going to be very beautiful to look at. I think you're going to have a lot of fun. Yeah. Definitely.
It's going to be a fun film. That's all it's really.
Exactly. So if it ends up being like really, really well done, and coherent, I'll be pleasantly surprised. So I'm pseudo looking forward to it. I think it'll hopefully be different, a little bit out there compared to what we've seen from DC lately. So
and
I'm excited.
And
for the most part.
Speaking of DC, and speaking of Birds of Prey, they are having one of the original cast members from the the short-lived Birds of Prey TV show.
Yes.
Coming into the crossover as well. I think it's I think it's Black Canary, the chick who played Black Canary.
From Smallville, no.
Is it from Smallville? I thought it was from the Birds of Prey TV show.
Well, wasn't the Birds of Prey? That was a spinoff of Smallville.
I have no idea.
I don't either.
I have no idea.
But to speak on Birds of Prey and all that weird stuff, something I actually know a little more about. CW confirmed a Arrowverse spinoff.
An Arrowverse spinoff.
Yep, 3 canaries are gonna be going at it now, or they're gonna do like their pseudo Birds of Prey. It's gonna be Katie Cassidy, the chick who's playing Black Canary right now. So
are they getting rid of Legends?
I don't know.
If she's gonna be,
why would they get rid of Legends?
If they're gonna.
Oh, you think Sarah Lance? No, it's Dinah.
Oh, okay,
right
yeah.
Katie Cassidy.
Yeah, Katie Cassidy. Okay.
And then somebody. I think it's might be one of the canaries from like the future or something.
So they're gonna try and do like the whole.
I think they're doing their own version of like Birds of Prey / Canary thing.
Right.
So that's neat. I'll watch that. I'd like Katie Cassidy. So she wasn't that great of a Black Canary, but like I don't know, they spin her off, and if she cares, maybe they can do something fun with it. I don't imagine it'll go very far.
Yeah.
It was one of those ones where I was just kind of like, we'll probably get a season
She
out
was
of it.
better as the villain, like
Black Siren.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was way cooler as a villain. Well, have you ever watched Supernatural?
No.
She plays a demon. I believe she plays a reincarnation of Ruby. I can't remember. But she played a demon villain for like a season, and she was awesome. So when they announced her to be Black Siren, I was like, fuck yes. And then they did it, and then they tried to make her as Laurel Lance just was terrible. It was terrible. She was just so whiny and annoying.
She was horrible in the Nightmare on Elm Street movie, the remake one.
Oh, she was in that?
Oh,
That's a shame.
yeah, it was horrible.
That's a shame.
So bad. She was also in that Adam Sandler one, Click.
She was in Click? Who the hell was she in Click?
She played Samantha when she was older. The daughter.
Well, I'm so going to go rewatch that movie because I really liked that movie. I didn't know that was her.
Yeah. Like, I think she was like gothed out or something, right? Is that the version of her?
Sure. I totally forgot.
I think it's the version of the daughter that like runs out to the street after he died, like falls to the street or some shit.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, all right then. Oh shit! Speaking of Supernatural, because you know they're in their final season, right? Or whatever.
Yes, yeah, they're doing their final one. There's a lot of CW shit that's just ending.
Yeah.
Giving more time slots to WB or to
right, to make more superheroes.
yeah.
Jared
Expanded universe.
Oh Christ. Jared Padalecki, who plays Sam Winchester on Supernatural, has been confirmed to be shooting, hasn't been picked up.
Mm-hmm.
He is shooting a Walker Texas Ranger reboot called Walker.
Without Chuck Norris?
Yeah. As of right now, I've heard nothing about Chuck Norris at all. But
one does not just simply remake a Chuck Norris movie or show.
Right? Right?
So
I like Jared Padalecki like a lot, and they live in Austin, Texas, so they do have that home, that homegrown feel that you're gonna want. It might work, dude. It might. I'm gonna go a hard maybe on this one. Because, I mean, really, at the end of the day, what the hell was it? It was just a goofy Law and Order, essentially, with...
who would be his... have they announced any, like, possible sidekick?
There's some girl sidekick he's going to have. I don't know her relevance or whatever yet.
Girl sidekick?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot what century we're in.
So I hope they make him do like, I don't know. I hope they don't just use the name and then they don't let him do like the karate shit.
Right. Cause that was the thing was like shit. Chuck Norris did all of that cause he's a fucking black belt.
Yeah. So, but I mean, Jared Padalecki trains a lot for his fight scenes and stuff for Supernatural. So hopefully, you can send him to some fucking karate classes. He'll be fine. You got stun doubles. Be fine. So
I don't know, man. That's gonna be one of those shows that's the internet's just gonna blow the fuck up.
Oh,
either
dude,
for good or bad.
You need to come out of the gates swinging, dude.
Right.
Because if you go in there half-assed with something like this, you're fucking done. You need to come out strong. This is one of those films or one of those shows where I'm like, fucking two-part opener. Give them 2 episodes right off the bat.
And usually something like that, what they'll do just to combat the like fans and stuff is they'll get like, Chuck Norris to show up for a cameo or some bullshit.
Yeah.
That's what they'll do.
I'd be down
because
if they keep it as campy and goofy. I guess it wasn't really campy and goofy at the time.
But see, everything
now
that they did, like all the shows that they've been going back and remaking from like back in the day, they all flop because they were made for that time period. They were made
the writing?
Like the fucking what was it? Knight Rider. They did Knight Rider.
Mm-hmm.
They did what was another one that they
Dude, Magnum PI. They MacGyver. Magnum PI.
The MacGyver one's still going though, isn't it?
Probably. It didn't look bad. It honestly didn't look terrible. The Magnum PI one looked all right, and then whatchamacallit, Fudge Weasels. I can't remember. There's been like Weasels? 2 other ones.
Oh, MacGyver just well, it looks like it ended. Oh wait, no, it's still going.
I mean, but again, those aesthetics are so strange. Like,
I know, like all the movie ones, like when they tried to do Lethal Weapon, I think that one flopped. Fucking Rush Hour flopped.
Why did they even think that one was gonna work? That one was 100%. You were living off the charisma of Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan,
right?
And fuck, the third one was garbage. So it was just like, really? You really thought a TV show without those names was gonna work? And
then with the Lethal Weapon one, they ended up getting like pissy with one of the actors, so they cut him, which was the main character, and then he was like, I'm not gonna get fired, I'm the main, like, dude.
And then they put in fucking Stifler from American Pie. Like, come on, man. What was the last thing you put like Sean William Scott into, and you were like, yeah, they went and watched Bulletproof Monk, and they were like, oh, he'd be great. Like, come on. What the fuck? Don't get me wrong. I like Sean William Scott, but man, he makes some fucking horrendous movies.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be fair, Lethal Weapon could have worked. What is it? It's a cop drama. Like,
it's not even like. Well, yeah, it's kind of a drama.
But what was Rush Hour gonna be? Rush Hour was funny because it was just 2 idiots running around.
Rush Hour was good because of the charisma of the actors, and Jackie Chan. Like, you have to get someone on par with Jackie Chan, and someone on par with Chris Tucker,
which you're not gonna find. Like, who you gonna find? You can't. Even Chris Tucker can't go back and be Chris Tucker these days.
Right.
Like, goddamn. Ugh.
Oh, man.
Fucking dumb. But I guess since we're still on DC, do we want to talk Crisis news? Because you did bring up what's-her-face coming back from Birds of Prey. There's been some other casting confirmations and whatnot. I have the sad confirmation, unless this changes, obviously.
Sad confirmation.
Mr. Michael Rosenbaum, who played Lex on Smallville, confirmed that he won't be on this one, which is kind of sad. So,
yeah,
I would have liked to have seen him. It was one of my favorite parts of Smallville. So,
either that or he is, and they just weren't supposed to say he was at first, so now they're saying, oh, he's not.
Well, it seems hard because unless he shaves his head, which I doubt he will, so.
Bald caps, bro, you know that.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But that one's sad.
Act like you've never used a bald cap.
Have you seen the all the photos of Brandon Ruth?
Yeah.
His Kingdom Come Superman-esque.
Yeah, man. And
he looks cool as fuck. He looks so cool.
You posted a picture of Kingdom Come Superman in our group, and then
you proceeded to fucking spoil it for me.
Someone convinced you to read it, and then I accidentally spoiled that shit.
That was my fucking favorite part about it too. Was we'll go a little meta here. If you don't follow our group on Facebook, you should. Michael, what's the link again?
The group is Operation Babble Group, and then like pop culture music, whatever. Just type in Operation Babble Group, and you should find us in the groups.
I know, we're so creative. It was really funny. Yeah, I posted a picture of
also
Brandon.
The link is in the description to our podcast.
Boom, there you go. If you can't tell, he wears the daddy pants on this one. So I posted a picture of Brandon Ruth in his Superman costume, a la Kingdom Come, which I've heard is one of the best, one of the better storylines, at least, from DC Comics. And I want to say it was Travis or Austin posted. I can't remember.
It was Travis, I believe.
Okay, shout out to Travis. Otherwise Austin, I'm sorry. Posted, yeah, dude, it's really awesome. You should read it. Said a couple of little tiny like generic things to kind of get me interested, and I'm like, oh fuck yeah, I'm definitely gonna read that. Then I'll put it on my big long list of to-dos right now. And then sure enough, like the very next post is this big long paragraph from this guy who's like, yeah, man, you should totally read it. It's so great because this happened and then this thing happened. And man, when this thing happened, it was so amazing. And I'm like,
I did not say that.
Did you not?
Oh, no, it wasn't Travis's. Tivis. Tivis is his name. I don't know if
Tivis.
it's supposed to be Travis, but yeah. I did not say all that. I said I definitely recommend the comic. The end.
The end. Period. ... So that was really funny. There's so much shit going on. I'm sure I'll forget by the time I get back to reading it, but that was just really funny. I was like, God, what a you thing to do. You were so excited to be like, yeah, I want to share with you, and then it's like, I overshared. But
it's not really because that's just what I said on there was just like the setup going into the actual like Kingdom Come, because the Kingdom Come version of Superman is like 10 years after.
Oh, you're gonna spoil some more for me, or what else do you want?
Yeah, you want to know what happened?
Guess who dies? But other news, Linda Carter is supposed to be coming back. I don't know if she's actually gonna be in a Wonder Woman costume. I really hope she is, because she still looks pretty fit. So that'll be cool. Really, at this point, it feels like all the casting announcements for Crisis is kind of turning into a meme, and I'm starting to get worried. You know what I mean? You only have so much time, and if these people are confirming like a couple of weeks or a couple of months before they're supposed to film whatever they're going to film, it feels like a lot of shit's going to get tacked on.
I'm wondering, are these shows still, or is each episode still just going to be like the hour-long spot, or each episode 2 hour spots? Because they're announcing a lot of fucking names, and it's like, dude, unless it's just going to end up being like Endgame where they're all just like standing in a fucking row.
Exactly. Or like, or even just like, they're not even going to be in the fight. Like they meet him in a coffee shop and they say something, or like, is it going to be like, you know, coffee for Mrs. Prince or something like that. Diana.
Cause let's face it, if you have like 3 or 4 fucking Supermen and you can't, defeat it with this, like what the fuck is Arrow's purpose when you have like 4 Supermen and then like 10 Flashes?
Sorry. Kryptonite. Oh, what's his point? Well, the whole point is that you always find a use for him.
They're only using Arrow because they can't get Batman on TV.
But so what does that matter? And
it matters.
And I just got Batman on TV, and I don't care.
When did you get Batman on TV? You didn't get Batman on TV.
Well, fake Batman on Gotham,
no,
and then
you didn't.
And then I saw this really bad version of him on this show called Titans.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
I don't know. I'm still excited for Crisis. I'm sorry. I don't care what they do. Every year, I think their crossovers are the best thing. I think it's the only thing they really give a shit about anymore. It almost feels like the TV shows are all filler for the crossovers now.
Yeah.
Except for DC. DC Legend. I always say DC. It's DC Legends of Tomorrow. Legends of Tomorrow just is doing whatever the fuck they want, and I love it. Just keep going. Just keep doing whatever you're doing. Regardless of whether or not I like an episode, I don't care. Overall, it's fun. I don't know about any other casting news, though. Linda Carter and the sad fact that Michael's Rosenbaum's not coming back made me sad.
Yeah.
I'm just excited for all the Supermen together, dude. I really am.
Maybe he's going to play the Batman v Superman Lex Luthor, and that's why his head's not shaved.
Fucking shoving a Jolly Rancher into somebody's face. Ugh.
It's the Joker Luthor.
Oh, man. That makes me sad. Honestly...
See, I like that movie, but after I've watched it, like, I've probably watched that movie about 50, 60 times.
Oof.
And that his portrayal of Luthor still gets me. I'm like, no, Luthor's kind of like smart. He's not like
He's so cool. Dude,
like
Lex
all
Luthor is
over the
supposed to be
place.
fucking cool. Like
He's just supposed to be
awesome.
laid back, cool, smart, and like concise and everything, and like not like crazy. Like I'm gonna fucking shoot my own guy so I can take the mask off Batman and get zapped or some bullshit.
After I saw Breaking Bad, I was like, fucking give me Bryan Cranston as Lex Luthor. That would have been absolutely incredible.
I think dude that played him in Superman Returns wasn't too bad.
Kevin Spacey?
Yeah, he wasn't too bad. For that movie, he was not bad.
Wrong. I think that was in the movie. That meme was in the movie. Yeah, I'm sure.
I even like how they even had the fucking the hairpiece that Lex Luthor wore back in the original Superman that he wore, and then he fucking throws it off after spoilers.
My biggest problem with Superman Returns, it was so bleh.
They were trying to be in a generation with the movie that they weren't in anymore, because they were trying to do it as close as they could to be a sequel from the first 4 Superman movies.
But it didn't even have that tone, man. It was so artsy. It was so artsy and like dreary and lame. Like, and now you like go back and look at Brandon Routh playing Ray Palmer on fucking CW, and all I can think is like, this guy would have been one of the best Clarks ever put on TV.
Yeah.
Like, I love Christopher Reeves, but fucking Ray Palmer is just like, oh man, Brandon Routh could have absolutely been an awesome Clark, and we just didn't even get a chance to see it.
They totally could have just had Brandon Routh play his character on Legends and then went back. Granted, I like the guy who plays Superman on Supergirl, but he could have played Superman there too.
Dude. Like, and during the crossover, I was sitting there, and then him and Bitsy Tulloch or whatever her name is, who plays the new Lois Lane. Their chemistry was so solid.
Yeah.
I was like, I watched him for 5 minutes because I never saw him on Supergirl. So I don't know. The only introduction I had was from the crossover.
He's barely in Supergirl, so. And even like with the crossover like that you saw, like so I watched that crossover episode before I watched that season.
Oh, okay.
And then I went back and watched the season. I was like, "Oh, sweet, Superman's going to be this." It's the only fucking time he's in that season. I was like, come on.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
No, see, and I argue the problem is that this was a problem that show's going to deal with. He's so fucking likable. Like, and he's so good. Like, he works as Clark. He worked as Superman. Lois is a fucking badass like she's supposed to be. And, like, their chemistry was so solid that I was instantly like, I want this show. Can we cancel Supergirl and make a Superman show?
Right.
I want a new Lois and Clark adventure. Gimme. It's just when you get casting like that and good actors like that, you start to see your shortcomings and you show the cracks in your own foundation when you do shit like that. And
is Supergirl going on season 4?
I have no idea.
Cause I don't know. But no, just so you know, because I know you're not gonna watch Supergirl anyways. But
probably not,
Superman's not really in the show. And when once they introduced him after like season 2 or 3, they like booted his ass out, and now he's like just chilling in space.
That would be a cool episode. Episode name: Superman chilling in space.
It's him and Lois on like I think it's the moon, or it's like some type of thing in space.
Damu.
That I forget what the hell they call it in the show. But it's where Kryptonians live. It's a whole colony of Kryptonians, and they don't have their powers there or nothing, so it's where he can go and live out his life. Lois had a baby and shit and all that stuff. And they tackled that in the Supergirl, like randomly, like they just like hinted towards it here and there.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I forget what it's called.
It was the city that Brainiac fucking shrank down. Not in their continuity, but like in the comics.
Right.
That was one of the things that they did. God damn it. That's annoying that I don't know that.
Kandor.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it just makes me sad. I want that Superman show with Tyler or whatever the hell is the actor's name, Tyler Hoechlin or something. He's awesome. He's a solid Superman, and his Clark is solid too. Like so, and he's just as charming as Dean Cain. Like he's not like overly buff and crazy like Henry Cavill, but he's also not like overly meek and kind of goofy looking like Brandon Routh was in his movie.
Right.
He's like this just solid middle ground that I'm like, man, you really need to capitalize on him because he's really charming.
Dude, Brandon Routh he's another one like fucking Chris Evans. He's played so many fucking comic book characters.
Yeah. Wasn't he in some fucking, you told me about Dylan Dog. That's what it was.
Dead of Night.
God, what a piece of shit.
And he fights what's his name? Kurt Angle. I believe he fights Kurt Angle in that one.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Was that really who that was? That's fucking funny.
Yeah. And then
throw one of his gold medals at him. Oh man.
what's that other kid's name? The kid that was in Superman Returns with him that played Jimmy Olsen.
Shia LaBeouf. I don't know. What?
I don't remember that dude's name. But he was in Dylan Dog as well. And then of course Brandon Routh was in Superman. Then he was in
Zach and Mary Make a Porno.
He wasn't that.
He wasn't
Which
that.
Kevin Smith was worried that they were gonna like he wasn't under contract to like not play like certain characters and shit because he was still under contract for Superman at the time. No, what was that one? The video game one.
Oh, Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, Scott Pilgrim, which also had fucking Chris Evans in it. And Captain Marvel.
Fucking Brie Larson's in that shit. I just found that out too.
Yeah.
That movie's good though.
That movie has
real good.
Everybody in it, dude. Those are the movies you know are good because like they had like those actors in them that just like were right there. That's one of the Brie Larson movies I can actually watch.
Let's rewind that. I would like to dissect that statement.
What?
That movie's good.
That's how you know a movie's good because they have that many good actors in them.
All right, well, we'll see when we watch Knives Out.
Who's all in that?
Chris Evans, Daniel Craig, what's her face from Jamie Lee Curtis. There's like 3 or 4 other people. They got like fucking everybody in the universe in that show.
I want to watch the other one that's the one where like the family tries to kill the guy, is it the girl or whatever?
It's not is it hide and seek? That's not right.
It's something like that. I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I know exactly what the chick who
this is
marries
the problem
somebody
is,
and then they
yeah. This is the problem is like I watch so many trailers. I'm like I want to watch that, and then I forget the names of it. So by the time it comes out, I'm like I don't want to fucking watch that. What the hell is that? It's like
hide and seek or something. I don't know. It looked kind of good. It looks fun. It looks a little weird.
Did you know that I don't watch it, but the Vixen cartoon is completely tied into the Arrowverse?
Oh, like canonically?
Yeah. Like whatever happens in that is like canon to the live action shows. And the same actors still voice their characters in that.
That I did know. Which, let me tell you, it sounds really bad. Stephen Amell cannot voice act. Holy shit. Holy shit. And actually, Grant Gustin's not super great at it either. It's really strange, like, because you can tell they're approaching their line delivery as if they're on set doing the live action shit.
Right.
And you so cannot approach it.
But see, when they're doing the live action shit, you have more of your facial to get.
But that's what
what
I'm saying. It's just like voice acting is so different, and it's only I'm only putting a little bit of snobbery on it is because it's something I've really wanted to do for a really long time, and it's something that I think people really undervalue. Good voice acting.
Brandon Routh played Shazam in the Lego DC Supervillains video game.
I did know that.
That's pretty dope.
Yes, because we have been playing that game and it is fun.
But yeah, you want to do voice act.
I would love to do voice acting. But use your
voice and act.
Well, the biggest problem is that everybody's just like, voice acting immediately, what's the first thing everybody thinks about voice acting? They go, oh, what kind of voices can you do? Or like, like people just start doing like, oh, it's like, you got to make voices. It's like, that's not just voice acting. Like
Animaniacs, they think of those guys that do that shit.
Well, yeah, because everybody thinks you got to be like, Steve Bloom or like whoever. It's like, well, if you don't make a voice, then it doesn't really count, like, oh. But sometimes it's just like, hey, Michael, fuck you, dude. Like, seriously, like, oh my God, like, why are you so mad? Like,
see, voice
conveying
acting,
emotion is not the same.
There's
like,
a difference.
Yelling and stuff. I don't know.
There's a difference in voice acting and like character voices, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Because voice acting is like you're talking, but you're also portraying all your character in that, because no one can fucking see your face, Stephen the Mouth.
I used to tell people voice acting kind of reminds me of stage acting, kind of. Is that you're not necessarily projecting, but you need to convey what you need in a more flamboyant way. Because like when you're stage acting, you need to do bigger hand gestures or bigger body motions to convey out to the seats in the back. You wouldn't act like that in front of a camera,
right?
Because the camera is right there, so everybody can see the littlest, the smallest inflections in your face or in your eyes or whatever. It's the same with voice acting. Like, just because I'm yelling does not convey anger. You know what I mean? Or surprise, or just because I talk lower doesn't mean I'm sad or melancholy. It's one of those things where it's like you have to approach it differently. It's just always like that. Because, yeah, you can't convey your emotions via your own face, but you will have an animated thing to do that for you. But sometimes people don't know the animations yet. Sometimes there hasn't even been character design finished yet by the time you're already in the booth. Right. So if you don't give them a performance, there's nothing to, you're going to put it's kind of like, it's cool that they made the puppet, but if your hand isn't strong enough to work the puppet correctly or mouth it correctly, then you lose the illusion. So,
I always chalk it like, people like to generalize, and their generalization is just going to be basically, what they think of it. Look at Toy Story. Tom Hanks and fucking, what's his name that plays Buzz Lightyear? Tim Allen. They're not using different voices. That's their fucking voice.
Exactly.
They're just
see, and that's a great
acting with
example.
it.
Yeah, I like that. That's a great example.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like that a lot. Because sometimes people just have that voice that you want. Morgan Freeman. Yeah. Great example. Sometimes he's just
narration is voice acting.
Kind of. Yes and no. Yeah.
In a way.
I mean, I'll absolutely say yes, just because, like, sometimes, like if you're doing fucking March of the Penguins, little inflection would be nice to kind of keep the monotony from, like, trying to melt your brain.
If you're hearing God talking about penguins moving, then yeah.
Can I tell you? I always wanted like since Morgan Freeman was in the fucking Nolan verse of Batman, I really wish the Penguin had been the villain for the third movie. Could you imagine fucking like Morgan Freeman coming in like the Penguin comes to Gotham every couple of months. You know what I mean? It would have been really fucking funny. But
that's in the outtakes.
That was fucking stupid. I'm sorry. Can we cut that? I'm sorry. That was dumb. Oh fuck. Fucking DC. I hate you, DC.
You hate and love.
DC. I really do. I hate
DC
and love
gets the hate-love relationship. There's people out there I've found that like they despise all of DC, everything, no matter what. They just won't watch it.
People think I'm that guy too. I really don't get that. A lot of people think I'm this like fucking DC hater. Yeah. And I'm like, I think Batman v Superman was wasted potential. That's why I hate it. On top of
Justice League.
Like and Aquaman. Well, dude, fucking Justice League is literally nothing. It's a nothing film. That thing was so broken fundamentally, it was insane. But like Aquaman, there's no reason why that should have been as shit as it was.
Yeah.
And then but then Shazam comes out. Yes, there's a ton of writing errors in it, like a ton.
Which I'll tell you this, Aquaman is going to be shown up once Marvel does their shit with Namor and all that stuff, and
Assuming
shows
they
you.
get there, yeah.
Well, I don't know if they can do a solo Namor movie, but when they're doing it with Black Panther and Namor, so at least that's what I heard.
My whole deal is that that whole like, okay, Marvel can do it right now. I don't think that applies like it used to. After watching Black Panther, Captain Marvel, and the shit they were trying to pull in Endgame, let's calm down and stop praising Marvel so much.
A lot of it becomes this thing with a name. People assume it's a DC product. It's gonna suck now. They don't remember that DC was like that was it for movies back in the day. You know, without them, you didn't get Blade. Without Blade, you don't get everything that we have now. That's how I look at it.
Sure.
But everybody like you know like you get accused of it because you don't like specific ones, not all of them, or you have problems with some, but you have problems with MCU films as well. So it doesn't really
I have to
fall
I
on
have
you.
to I think my biggest thing is like I'm just not a fanboy. I'm not. I'm one of those guys who wants to. I want to approach every single thing as its own deal. Yeah, absolutely. After I watch it, then you have to take the broader, because like with an MCU film, you have to take the broader context. Like,
right?
You know, it's like, was this film really good by itself? Maybe. Was it not? Okay, let's tear this one apart first. Then once I figure out all the issues inside of that movie, then I go, okay, did it hurt the universe though? Can I at least, because like Captain Marvel's one of those ones where I was like, had they not done a couple of like the reset things, that movie would have literally just been completely inconsequential. Had they not done the stuff with Fury's eye, had they not fucked around with the Tesseract, and then also had not done the first Avenger thing, I don't think that movie would have mattered. We could also talk about the fact that, you know, they ruined Avengers by saying they actually ruined two Fury moments. The eye thing and the we're making super weapons because of Thor.
Right.
You know. So, but like I said, had they not made these like huge issues like within the world, that movie would have just been forgettable and nobody would have cared. But they just had to build themselves in so quickly and justify that movie being made that they fucked a lot of stuff up. That was all. But like with Shazam, it's like the DCU is already dead, so who cares? You know, so you could really approach it that movie as like, oh God, I hope it's just funny or fun or good or whatever. And you go in and it's like, as a standalone film, I think it's pretty good. It's fun. The characters have all pretty solid motivations. Things kind of progress relatively logically, but there's just a lot of lazy coincidences and really like convenient moments that are just a little too dumb and lazy.
Yeah.
That it kind of breaks some moments, but I mean, for the most part, it's like, you know, it's not Aquaman. Like Aquaman is so fundamentally wrong on so many layers. It's just nuts. And then you go and watch Civil War or like Spider-Man Homecoming that they just, other than they're like, I think they fucked up their timeline or whatever in Spider-Man
just
Homecoming.
because of a fucking typo too, which they could have fixed.
They could have fixed
like
it.
Before you do the release of the DVDs or whatever, just fucking fix it. Like,
it's so dumb, especially with streaming too. You should have been able to fix it. It's so dumb.
Like they go through and edit their movies and shit now that they purchased. Why not just change that? Like,
it's so fucking dumb.
But no, in this I said the fucking same thing about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but that's a whole nother thing. Yeah. I still haven't watched that season yet. But no, like what I was saying, like I've noticed there's a lot of people that just hate DC. Period. Like, and I wasn't referring to you. Yeah. And like they despise it so much because of the movies that came after the Nolan Batman movies, which I would also say what was the rise of the Batman Rise of the Dark,
The Dark Knight Rises?
Dark Knight Rises, which was the last one, right, of Nolan?
The Bane one, yeah.
Which that one wasn't even as on par.
It's so not good.
It's
That
like
is
the other. So
that might be the worst Christopher Nolan movie ever made, easily. I might.
You think that one?
I haven't seen Interstellar yet.
Interstellar's pretty fun, pretty good movie.
I've heard Dunkirk is okay.
Yeah. I didn't want to watch Interstellar. I didn't give two shits about it. I didn't know anything about it. But Nick had turned it on. I think she rented it or something. And I was like, "What the fuck are you watching?" And she told me a name. I was like, "Oh." I was gonna walk out of the room, and then like something happened. And I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna stand right behind the couch." And then by the time I knew it, like 10 minutes later, I'm sitting on the couch, just chilling out, watching the movie. I was like, okay. But that's more like, it was more like sci-fi-esque type shit,
Well, and also it's so long. Like, it's just kind of one of those movies that you have to be ready for. Like, like once you sit down in front of it, you're there. Like, you got to finish it. And that's why I haven't gotten there yet. But, I mean, really had The Dark Knight not been so awesome, I don't know that the third one would have even gotten nearly as much. I would tell people, God, fucking imagine that was the first Batman movie. People would have probably not liked it nearly as much. There's so many fucking things wrong with that film. It's insane. It's insanity.
But no, but let me finish. God damn.
You started it. You're the one who got me on fucking Batman.
But no, like basically, like they just don't do it because of all that bullshit, whatever, blah blah blah. And then like I was talking to somebody the other day. I was like, dude, you should check out. I think I was talking about like Arrowverse stuff, and they're like, oh, I've never seen any one of those shows. And they're like, I just hate DC that much. I was like, these shows are completely different from the movies. Yeah. And I was like, you should give it a try. I was like, do you like Flash? Watch Flash. If you like Batman, watch Arrow season 1 and 2.
Right.
I was like, have you watched Gotham on fucking TV? Like, no. I was like, why haven't you watched Gotham on TV? Like, you can't say that you hate DC and haven't even given these things a chance. Like, you don't get the right to complain about them unless you've watched them.
I don't even think you could argue if you like Batman, you should watch Gotham. I'm just like, Gotham is just cool, man.
Gotham is just a good one. Like the first season it was kind of like your gangster kind of film, gangster cop film.
It's just a cool cop film with a nice little candy wrapper on it. It's like I always say, if you really like the old Tim Burton the old Tim Burton Batmans, like Gotham is made for you, dude. Like the aesthetic they do for the town and stuff. It's this like,
which is why I every time I see something for Batwoman, I'm just like, get Gotham right, please get Gotham right.
It's this weird aesthetic that like they take Tim Burton and Nolan verse, and they really meld it really well in Gotham. It's like this gritty realism during the day, and then it's this like over hyperbolic craziness at nighttime. I love it. The costumes are crazy. The way they shoot it, they use these wider angles like they used to with Tim Burton to show off the city, and like the city has its own life, and it's really fucking cool. Gotham is a good fucking show. It's a great show.
That last episode though of Gotham, like with the Penguin and the Riddler, they kind of made them act like, the Penguin and the Riddler from the 60s Batman.
Oh yeah. The camp gets really strong in that show, dude. And I'd argue it was always there.
No, the final episode of Gotham, like their characters got a lot more campier in just that episode alone. Leading up to it, it was okay, whatever. But that episode, it was just like, damn, like complete tone shift. But of course, it was supposed to be like 10 years later and all that bullshit. But
DC is very hit and miss. Their movies are fucking garbage right now. I mean, like I said, what do I say? DC's good because I kind of like Shazam, or like Birds of Prey could be cool. I hope it's
I
cool.
always say just give it a shit a shot. I mean, at the most, like if you don't like Gotham after a couple episodes, fine. Skip to season 2 when they start bringing in the supervillains. Maybe you like that type of shit. Who knows? The first
I'd agree with
season's
that,
mostly gangster stuff, and the second season's when they actually start doing the supervillains.
And a lot of stuff with those TV shows, you get a good like season recap. You can pretty much. Oh, fucking Jessica Jones is a perfect example, dude. I know that's not DC, but
Yeah.
Jessica Jones is a perfect fucking example of like.
Those shows were great. Like, not like the way they do the recaps and shit.
Yeah,
It's like you didn't even need to watch season 2 to understand anything for season 3.
because it's easily the worst season. Season 2 is fucking trash. The first one's slow but good. I mean, the acting's solid. It looks really well. The story's pretty solid. David Tennant's just awesome as Kilgrave. So I mean, I watched it for him. And then season 3 fucking comes out. I remember bitching about it had to have been like 3 or 4 weeks ago, where I'm like, I'm not even gonna fucking finish Jessica Jones. I don't care. Their world's kind of dead or whatever. And then I just found myself jumping on Netflix and I finished season 3. And then they did the recap because I had seen season 2, and that's why I jumped off. I was like, oh my God, this is so bad.
Season 2 was getting kind of like they were trying to push something in there that didn't need to be in the show.
And even honestly, I don't even know what they were pushing. I like nothing about it. There was just nothing. I don't care about any of it.
Honestly, that's the
Jessica
one season
Jones's
I
mom?
don't remember that well. I remember like the ending of it, but probably because the fucking recap kept pushing it into my head.
Exactly.
So.
Well, and it was like the driving wedge between Jessica and was it Patsy?
Patsy. Here's Patsy.
But fuck, man, I watched Jessica Jones season 3. Please tell me you finished it.
Hold on, I did finish season 3. Probably about an end of last week.
I finished it about a week and a half ago. God, I'm such a fucking hypocrite. We were literally on the podcast like, oh, I'm not gonna fucking finish that. Fuck that show. And then like 48 hours later, I'm bored and I just turned it on. I watched the recap. I go,
there's so many more things out there too that you could have probably watched.
There's so many. Well, and I'm in the middle of like 3 shows that I could have just started, finishing up. But I was like, fuck it. It's one more season. I finished all the
final
other ones
thing, so
I figured what the hell. And I like Kristen Ritter like a lot. Like I like her a lot. And again, I really liked the first season, and I like a lot of the characters they had. So I was like, fuck it. If it's the last one, I'll just finish it out.
Yeah.
And holy fuck, dude. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Season 3, I liked it a lot.
I got annoyed with 2 episodes specifically because they were fucking Patsy episodes. I don't give a shit about watching Patsy.
Which I'm 50-50 on. I pseudo agree with you.
Like I get why both the fucking Patsy episodes were stupid because all it was is like they did something in one episode and then they go back and be like, oh, the second episode shows.
We're gonna spoil the shit out of this,
by
the way.
Yeah.
So my whole deal is that I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's so
the shit
fucking annoying.
Where she's training herself.
Yeah.
And like showing
stupid.
It's so fucking dumb. It's like you're literally just doing parkour. I don't care. You're not showing off her powers that well to where it's like impressive.
Right. They actually show her power, like more of her ability and powers and shit like that when she starts attacking people.
Yeah. Or like when she set up that whole like, she had that photog guy show up and watched her jump from the top of the bridge so you could see that she can jump from a building and not
we
die.
didn't need a whole fucking episode to show that.
Exactly. But the secondary one where they show her flashback as a child.
As a kid, yeah.
That episode I really, really, really liked. The problem is where they placed it in the season.
Right.
So huge spoilers right now. They
could have cut that and the second episode together a little bit.
That I absolutely
and
agree.
then just one
100%.
fucking episode of her and that's it.
Yep.
And it would have been better.
And if anything, I I'm 50-50. I would have said that should have been the first or second episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Easily.
But I think that's also them wanting to get the 13 episodes or whatever in. Not Netflix,
Sure.
but Disney was requiring them to do like
Or
so many
whatever,
episodes or whatever
yeah.
bullshit. Which is why they fucking canceled this stuff.
My whole deal is that with the secondary Patsy episode towards the end, is they put it in the penultimate episode, the one right before the last one.
Yeah.
So it really just derails the pacing that they had, and it really sucks. And it was like, but also I understand it would have been hard to do it beforehand because, again, spoilers, they kill her mom.
Yeah. So they need to show her rage, but
well, my other thing, my big deal is that because you go back in time and see how kind of pageant mommy shitty the mother actually was, I don't think her death would have hit the audience as hard because you would have sat there going, well, she was kind of a bitch. You know what I mean? But because they show that episode after she was murdered, you kind of go, oh, well, I'm still kind of sad she's dead, even though that she's like kind of a shitty mom didn't mean she deserved to have her fucking throat slit. You know what I mean?
right.
But I mean, you do that episode like 3 episodes into that season, you're kind of like, it changes your perception of the mom. So when she dies, you're kind of like, okay, and let's move on. You know what I mean? It sounds really shitty, but I honestly believe that was the best way to do it. But it just fucks up your pacing on the show. But fuck, dude, that season's so good. It's a little slow as per always, but that's just those Netflix shows are so full of padding. It's nuts.
Yeah.
The last episode is 100% the whole reason to watch this fucking show. The acting in this show is so just above average. It's so good. It's so good. I like these characters. I like what they're all doing. They all act like they're supposed to act the whole way through. The scene where Patsy's in the jail and it's just her face, dude. The camera, it's like chest up, close up of Patsy, handcuffed to the fucking table because she's about to get sent to the raft. And it's just this like minute-long push-in of her. And it hits her face. And she has this realization. She has this like 100-yard stare the whole time. And all of a sudden it's, I'm the bad guy? It was so fucking good, dude.
That was in the holding cell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the interrogation room, quote unquote. Fucking
But
Christ,
then when they're
dude.
the end scene, well, not the end scene, but her end scene, I should say, when they have her in cuffs and shit like that, and they're taking her to the chopper to go to the raft.
Putting her on the helicopter and Jessica's looking at her through the gates or whatever, yeah.
And they're taking her to the raft and shit. She kind of has like this smile kind of like on their face. And I was just like...
deranged. She plays deranged.
She's fucking psycho.
But she's so unaware of it, like her lack of self-awareness about it. But the whole point is like you just see her her absolute desperation to become. She wants to be Jessica because she thinks she can be better than her, and with her desperation and just unapologetic want for that,
she has no empathy left.
She just goes off the deep end.
Yeah.
She doesn't care. And then when her mom's dead, then, oh, fuck. And then she just becomes unhinged. But it was just that cool realization was just, I'm the bad guy.
What?
I was like, the whole season built to that one moment.
Yeah.
And it was so fucking good. It was so good.
Speaking of the rest of the whole season, what did you think about the wannabe Dexter character?
Oh, dude, he's fine. He was perfectly fine. You were right 100%. Like once they take you to his apartment and they kind of show you around, it's like, oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, serial killer. Okay, cool. Which I liked. I mean, it felt cool because fuck, they introduced him halfway, like damn near halfway through the season, right? It's like episode 3 or 4.
I
think they introduced him.
3 or 4 is when she goes into his apartment, I believe.
I think so. And it was just like, cool. We don't need this huge fucking backstory. We'll figure it out as we go. And I think that's part of the fun of the noir style detective show that they're trying to do with it, which they nail. My biggest issue is that I don't like slow paced things like that. So if you really like those old private investigator shows and stuff like that, this show is great for you. This is awesome. They do a lot of that like cinematography for that old school feel, and the music really, really feels like old private investigator stuff. And yeah, they just totally nail the aesthetic that they're obviously going for. I really like the 3rd season. Like I said, it's a little slow. It's a bit of a grind. I mean, 13 seasons.
13 episodes.
Easily. Yeah. Sorry. 3 seasons, 13 episodes. Pretty much per season.
Which season 2 is, you don't even need to watch that.
You really don't.
There's nothing in there that carries over except for like the last episode. Really.
Was
or no, like the last 2 probably.
The lawyer chick's disease or whatever, was that introduced in the 1st or 2nd season?
2nd season.
Okay, so I mean that works, but man, they don't really tackle it a lot.
Yeah.
They really don't. They talk about it a few times as kind of like her motivation to like get the thing she wants quicker, but really at the end of the day, it's a superficial thing that they don't really talk about anymore.
Right. They kind of ended her story arc too, kind of like, damn. Like,
yeah, they really
fuck you really too, bitch.
Yeah, they really just focus on Patsy.
Yeah.
Even to a detriment to Jessica Jones. She gets fucking stabbed. And the spleen thing,
and then it just like disappears. Like they
didn't care.
Reference it no more. She's still
cool
drinking,
for like 2
and
yeah, it was like 2 episodes. They kind of delve into the spleen thing and the problems it's causing her, but then it's just business as usual. So I did have a problem with that, and
fucking Luke Cage.
I appreciated that cameo a lot. I did. I got why they brought him in. Yeah. And it was a lot easier than trying to have some character we didn't give a shit about. Right.
If you brought Danny or something in, it would be like,
or even just random person. Like they set up some situation to try and make it metaphorical. Right. You know what I mean? To try and motivate her. It's like, no, bring in somebody she respects who's dealing with the same shit.
I'm really, really surprised that, like, because they were dealing with the other lawyers and stuff like that throughout it with them, I'm surprised they didn't have Foggy come into there.
I get it. Yeah.
So, especially because they were dealing with like the Rand and stuff and like all that.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't I wonder if Danny like went off to Matt and Murdoch and all that, or Murdoch and fucking Foggy. Murdoch and Nelson.
There it is. Okay. I wasn't gonna steal.
I was trying to remember his goddamn last name.
I don't know. I'm yeah. I was just one of those. It was one of those deals where they had a decent villain that wasn't over the top. It worked for her.
Yeah.
But like I said, my other thing was they brought in that dude who could like with the powers that could like sense evil.
Mm-hmm.
I like him, and I realized why they used him, and it was kind of lazy, but it was okay. His power essentially is that he's a monster detector.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's just
honestly, without him, nothing else would have happened because Jessica would not have got stabbed. All that shit.
See, it was a combination of lazy writing, but something that worked for the story because it was already moving so slow that it was nice to kind of have him to just speed it up.
And then of course he had his prostitute sister, so that helped with another story arc going in.
Which, I like what's his face, the black sidekick guy. I can't remember his name. I like him. I liked him a lot in the first season too.
When he played the drug addict.
Yeah, and now he's kind of like this weird like cleanup guy for the lawyer chick.
In the well, I guess his story arc did change a lot in the second season.
Oh yeah.
I'll give
and
him
it changes,
that.
and I'd argue it changes a lot in the third one too.
Yeah. It's Malcolm, also.
Thank you. No, he's awesome. I think he's great. He's well acted. He does get a little sidelined towards the end. Like there's not really a huge wrap up for him. He kind of just takes over for Jessica, quote unquote.
Supposedly, because she leaves him her office.
Yeah, but it seems like she's coming back anyway.
Right.
Like the whole point was they wanted to allude that she was going to hand off the torch and bail, and then towards the end it's like, no, we're going to keep it open just in case.
Just in case. Just in case? No.
Sure. But again, him being like this bad guy was kind of one of those things where it just felt really lazy. It's like, instead of like proving to us that they were going bad or just like letting us deal with it, it's like, no. If there's any question, he goes, no, they're evil. He was like a justification rod for the show. You know, it was like, okay, so is Jessica Jones allowed to murder or Patsy allowed to murder this person or not murder this person?
Mm-hmm.
And then they take him and he goes, my eyes are bleeding. Yeah, go ahead and kill him. You know what I mean? So so the audience doesn't have to feel like there's this weird morality issue. That's what he's there for. He's like a morality barometer that is so on the fucking nose that it just feels a little lazy. But again, at the same time, it's like there's so much going on and you're trying to pack it up with these characters so fast that he does speed it up a little bit.
Right.
So I would justify that it's fine. And I really like the actor, and the chemistry with him and Jessica is pretty solid. So I liked it a lot, but man, I'm telling you.
And like the landlord dude that she was boning in the second season kind of just like fucked off. His son showed up in like the first episode and that was it. And then you never see his ass. I was just like, she's just making her rounds around fucking New York. She doesn't care who it is.
Right. But 100% for me, that whole show, even when it was getting a little dicey to get through because it was just kind of boring, I'm not kidding. That scene with Patsy having the self-realization was worth the entire season to me. Like, it stuck with me so hard that it was just like, yeah, I like this. I like this weird pseudo, like, is she being righteous or is she going too far? What is too far? Is killing bad people? How bad is too bad? That kind of thing. This struggle of morality and like self-judgment and stuff. It's so solid. I thought it was really, really well done. And again, I cannot talk about the acting better than anything. Even the serial killer guy, he's totally a Dexter ripoff, but he does a really good job. Yeah, he does fine.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say he's a Dexter ripoff because he's killing.
Pretty close, dude. Isn't like the very first, like, doesn't he use a syringe to take somebody out the very first time? I'm like almost 90% sure. Like one of the first things you see is like you drug somebody. Like
he drugs them, but I don't remember if it was a needle. Was it? Oh yeah, he did. Drug them with a needle. I'm pretty sure it's a syringe. Yeah. I love how they had that interaction with the one guy that was like gonna be one of his victims that he had tied to the chair and shit, and then the guy's like, I kissed him, and then he fucking fucked off. It's just like, damn, if somebody's a little homophobic,
the chef guy, yeah.
Apparently he didn't want to see his real self.
No, but I thought that was cool. I'd argue it. Oh God, I hate to do it. The pretentious themes of the season was that the serial killer couldn't come to grips with himself. Yeah. He had so many old issues that he couldn't deal with it, and Patsy was exactly the same, and you just didn't notice it. She justified everything she did the same way he kept trying to justify the things he was doing. That's why it works. They were both villains. It was just one was extremely obvious about it, and the other one was the one that you had to watch slip into it. It was neat. It was really cool to watch her slow downfall to rock bottom. It was really well done. I think it was really good. I would honestly say if you haven't started the show, watch season 1, skip season 2.
Or
watch a
go
full
online
recap.
and see like, random
The best bits. Or
yeah,
whatever.
what the best bits are for season 2.
But I'm not kidding. The recap would be more than enough. And if the recap seems interesting, then go ahead and watch season 2 if you have the time. But if you're like, no, my time is valuable, really 1 and 3 is really all you need.
Yeah.
With a 2 recap on it. I like it a lot. I enjoyed it a lot. And that's really all I got for it. I'm like, fucking go watch it. I thought it was really, really well done. I enjoyed season 3, and they wrap it up pretty solid. It's pseudo open ended, so if they wanted to do another one, they could. Otherwise, it ended pretty solid. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's how I felt about that one.
All right. And since we I'm going to say, no, we didn't really start it off with this. We started off with Spider-Man and your Mark Hamill bullshit. But,
How dare you?
we talked about the fucking Birds of Prey trailer. The memes are already coming out for that.
Oh, memes.
And they're like, it's trash, this and that. I'm just like, you guys probably didn't even watch the trailer. You're just saying what
You're going off
think.
the poster or going off what people say. Because honestly, I'm one of those guys that, like, if people would have told me about it, I go, yeah, this movie's going to fucking suck. But of course I got to watch the trailer and see. Like, come on.
Dude, the fucking little bit that they did for the Birds of Prey, like their teaser trailer or whatever, is like her coming out and it looks like Pennywise at first, and the balloons are there and shit, and she bursts through and said, fuck all these clowns, basically. They played that at It right before the movie, which makes it even fucking better.
Well, that was the point. That's what the marketing was. That's
I'm
the
just
point.
like, you guys can't. I mean, you can hate on the movies that have come out, but don't hate on the movies that no one has even watched yet. Just don't do it unless it really looks like trash, Like, you can hate. I will give you this. You yourself can hate on the new Terminator movie already, even though it hasn't come out, because we have 500 other ones that were disappointments.
Yeah. Okay, be careful, because what you're doing now is you're creating an argument that is working very, very solid against you right now. Because you're telling me now that I shouldn't hate this movie coming out because of a weird marketing ploy, but for this other one,
no. I'm saying you shouldn't watch it because. So this is a whole new one. It's not like Batman v Superman 2 or
it's
Superman,
legitimately a
whatever.
sequel to Suicide Squad. What are you talking about?
Is it
it's
though?
Literally the
Is it?
Yes, they're
is
in
not.
the same strip club. Oh my god!
Okay. So if this is a sequel to Suicide Squad, we'll find out.
You mean it's the same fucking character in the same fucking strip club that they were at, talking about the same Joker she was with?
Yes. I'm really now that you made you said something, dude.
Really want to go? You really want to go down?
Now
this
that you said something, I'm really curious now. Like you were saying, how are they going to do Suicide Squad 2 with her after this?
Or if they're going to at all?
She's supposed to be in it. She's supposed to be in it.
James Gunn trying to slow it. But I mean, part of it could be, if this movie does well, maybe they put more of her in the next one.
Yeah.
Or if this flops really bad, they're gonna go, Harley's just gonna be a cameo, and then we're gonna move on.
She can be the villain in Suicide Squad too.
Because even if it's not a direct sequel, it doesn't matter. It's going to be interpreted that way.
Right.
Because one, they're trying to put it in this universe anyway, and two, it's the same character and same character design in the same area doing all the same shit, just with different other people running around with them. So and DC sucks right now.
All right, fine.
So there you go.
Speaking
of DC sucking ass.
No, we're not talking about that right now. We're already 2 hours in.
Damn it.
We can hit it on the next one.
All right, fair enough. So
with that said, don't ever touch a black man's radio, boy. You can do that in China, but you can get your ass killed out here, man. Peace.
Later, nerds.
Thanks for tuning in to another great episode of Operation Babble. You can catch this episode and more at soundcloud.com/Operation Babble or iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, and Google Play at Operation Babble or YouTube at Myke Shrews, MYKESHREWS. Have a great day, guys. Peace.